I'm sorry to have left you on the edge last time, but with science, sometimes we kind of just need to test things. I don't have to tell you everything. You experience life on your own and you're able to kind of piece things together with the information that you are given. So last time I said prokaryotes are always unicellular organisms, and eukaryotic cells can either be unicellular or multicellular organism. Knowing you aren't a unicellular organism, of course the answer will be that we're made of eukaryotic cells because we are multicellular organisms.
Teacher, oh teacher, please don't keep me after school.
We said that cells are the basic building blocks of life, but of course there are things that exist in the world that are smaller than cells. It's just not considered living. So the absolute, the smallest, the smallest, the teeniest thing that can possibly exist is considered an atom. An atom is the smallest unit of an element that maintains the property of that element. So if you think of stuff like hydrogen or helium, the smallest thing possible is an atom. And if we were to break that carbon atom, if we were to break that helium atom, if we were to break that hydrogen atom, it's essentially saying it's no longer helium. It is no longer carbon. It is no longer hydrogen, or whatever other examples I gave you. Don't remember. Now, what happens when multiple atoms are put together? If it's just simply two, or if it's three, if it's multiple atoms together, as in it's more than one atom, it is then considered a molecule. A molecule is a substance formed when two or more atoms are chemically bonded. What used to trip my students up a lot was the actual term molecule and the term compound. We said molecule are two or more atoms that are chemically bonded, and compounds, they're also multiple atoms bonded. But what makes a molecule different than a compound is the fact that a compound has a different element with it. So a molecule could be a hydrogen atom and a carbon atom. That could be a molecule, but a molecule could also be two hydrogen atoms. Whereas a compound is like a hydrogen and carbon atom. It is a helium and gold atom. It is two nitrogen and hydrogen atoms. It always has to be at least one different atom. If we have 6 carbon atoms, is it a molecule or a compound? First, we have to think. If I said 6 carbon atoms, is there a different element? No. So if it's not a different element, we can already eliminate compounds. It has to just be a molecule. What if I said 3 hydrogens? 3 hydrogens. That would be considered a molecule. It wouldn't be considered a compound because, again, a compound has to be multiple elements. Here's a tricky one. What if I have 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen? 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Is that a molecule or is that a compound? That's a compound, but it's also a molecule. Remember, molecule, it just has to be more than one atom. But a compound, it has to have multiple atoms, and at least one of those atoms have to be different. 2 hydrogen atoms might be the same, but that additional oxygen atom, that's what things get a little different. So atoms, molecules, and compounds, they all are connected somehow. An atom is the smallest unit of an element that still maintains its properties. A molecule is when there are more than one atoms present. A compound is a molecule, but a compound is only a compound if there is an element present that is different. So a hydrogen, a carbon, well, that's a compound. A gold, a hydrogen, an oxygen, that's a compound. But a silver, and a silver, that's just a molecule, baby.
Teacher, oh teacher, please don't keep me